On May 2nd, 2011, at a halftime ceremony event of an LA Lakers playoff game, the legendary Bill Sharman, who was the Lakers' former head coach, general manager, and president, was finally presented and awarded his 1971 ABA championship ring after 40 years by the ABA founder and famed sports promoter Dennis Murphy. This story was picked up by hundreds of news outlets throughout the world as one of the greatest feel-good and touchy-feely basketball stories of the year, if not of all time. Hello, I'm Dr. Elliott Haimoff of Afterburner Enterprises. Now, while this ring story has a lot of people involved in it, and a lot of people are a part of it, and it has great history, I guess I'm the only one that could really tell the whole story from start to finish. Back in January 2011, I was fortunate enough to meet Dennis Murphy, the founder of the Old American Basketball Association, and my TV documentary production company formed an alliance with another production company, Screaming Eagle Productions, to put together a program on the profile of Dennis Murphy. Dennis immediately told me the first person I'd need to interview for this profile is his old friend and fellow USC alumnus, Bill Sharman, that Dennis has known since the late 1940s when Bill was a star USC athlete and Dennis was one of the sports team managers setting up travel and accommodations for the various college teams. Now, Dennis Murphy told me for the very first time that has never been publicized before how in the late 1960s, when he created this American Basketball Association, he called up his good friend Bill Sharman, a USC alumni, that he wanted to find out from Bill what he could do for his league that would make it unique and different from the old NBA. Bill came up with the idea for a three-point shot and told Dennis all about it. Dennis loved Bill's three-point shot idea and implemented it into Dennis's ABA league, and its popularity then carried over into the NBA when the two leagues later merged. Dennis then got Bill a job coaching an ABA team at the beginning of the league, the Los Angeles Stars. My production team went over to interview Bill Sharman, and he told me his whole story of creating the three-point shot and getting together with Dennis Murphy and how he coached his ABA team to the championship in the 1970-71 season, but did not like it when his team moved out of LA to Utah. Bill then told me how he jumped at the chance to return to Los Angeles when the LA Lakers offered him the head coaching job for the 1971-72 season, where he then promptly led the team to their record-breaking 33-game winning streak and their first NBA championship in Los Angeles. Now, a funny thing that happened was after we finished the interview with Bill Sharman, and as we're collecting all of our gear to go home, his wife, Joyce Sharman, mentioned to us that Bill never did get his ABA championship ring. And she explained to us that after the championship season in 1970-71 with the Utah Stars, Bill left that team to come back to the Lakers, and he just never got that championship ring. And after 40 years, Joyce found that very ring was up for sale at a sports collectibles auction site. I personally felt horrible that such a great basketball legend like Bill Sharman could be wronged like that for 40 years, and I could have just as easily shrugged my shoulders and not done anything about this ring story. But instead I told everything to Dennis Murphy and the sponsors of this documentary profile. Dennis was shocked and appalled at hearing this story and had no idea that Bill was never awarded his championship ring, and immediately insisted that this oversight be rectified no matter what the cost, and that such an injustice could not be tolerated on Dennis's watch as the founder of the ABA. Dennis mobilized his sponsors, Randy Friend, Joanne Fox, and Jose Sanchez, as they found a jeweler, J.B. Diamond of Newport Beach, who could use the images of the original ABA championship ring and make an exact 14-karat gold duplicate ring. Dennis convinced us all to chip in and to make sure that Bill was given his new ring by the 40th anniversary of his ABA championship accomplishment. Now that the new ring was made, I personally thought that the image of Dennis just handing the ring over to Bill didn't have the same meaning as a formal ceremonial event to make things right, perhaps at center court of a Lakers game. Fortuitously, it just so happened that I had to interview Jeannie Buss, the vice president of the LA Lakers, as a part of the Dennis Murphy profile, since her first true exposure into the universe of sports team ownership was under one of Dennis Murphy's league creations. So after the interview with Jeannie Buss, I had a 3-minute window of opportunity between the interview that we had and her next appointment to pitch her on the idea of a Bill Sharman, Dennis Murphy ABA championship ring ceremony. Jeannie absolutely loved the idea of having these two 85-plus-year-old basketball greats meet at center court of a halftime event during a Lakers game, and to have Dennis officially present the ABA championship ring to Bill, and that she would just make it happen right then and there. So Jeannie Buss was absolutely spectacular and fantastic, and she scheduled the formal ring ceremony during the halftime of a playoff game on May 2nd, 2011, and the rest is history. And in fact, I was able to cover the ring story in the Dennis Murphy documentary special. You know, there are people that can read about history, and there's other people who make history. Thankfully, Afterburner Enterprises made history that day on May 2nd, 2011, thanks to an awful lot of people.